right. Good morning, TikTok, YouTube, and the face of the bucket. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing good. Happy Monday. I'm going to go ahead and get this walk and talk started. Let me share with some friends. Let's see here. I haven't seen this friend in a while. I'm going to share with a few friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Nikki. How you doing? Good morning. What's going on, Zwitcha? How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, YouTube. Good morning, face of the books, books of the face. How y'all doing this morning? I'm getting right on into it. How y'all doing? What's going on with you? I'm finishing up a little bit of setup here on my end. So y'all just good morning, Kim. How you doing? Kim's Digital Hall. Good morning. How are you? How was everybody's weekend? How was y'all weekend? I don't know. How are y'all this morning? I'm so glad to have you forever long you can be here. Even if it's just for like a couple seconds. That's fine. That's okay. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Oh, fabulous. Nikki said her weekend was fabulous. If you were on YouTube or TikTok, please note I broadcast there, but I can't see nothing. Good morning, coffee with cream. Good morning. How you doing this morning? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Come on in. We're talking about fear this week. Good morning. We're talking about the role of fear. My name is Martine Brown, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I try to offer you a little bit of mindset support as we navigate this thing called running our business in life. I do that through the lens of AI, technology, um, and the selling of my classes, resources, and products. I have a community, it's called The Paid Creative, where we learn more about how to get paid through the process of selling your products and services. All right. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm all about. And this call in particular is called Morning Motivations. And it's just the place I come to just try to keep you encouraged because starting a business, running a business, I know it's hard for me. So I'm assuming that it's hard for you guys too. So we do this thing together. Good morning, e-learning bestie. I'm glad to have you this morning. I hope you had a great visit. I know you went out of town. I hope the visit was great. Nikki, you said your kids and grandbabies brought you to a birthday dinner. Oh, how exciting. I can't think of a more wonderful person to celebrate for their birthday. Happy early birthday since I won't see you Thursday. Happy early birthday. I hope you get everything you want and desire. Um, I didn't know you were in the comics, e-learning bestie. Good morning, Lady T. How are you this morning? How are you? Oh, you went to the LA Comic Con. How was it? How was it? Was it good? Question. Unrelated, but also related. With the Comic Con. So, like all the different things I've been going to, conferences, whatever, the AI has started to show up. When you went to Comic Con, were there references to AI? Was AI presence in the conference? If so, what did you notice? I'm just curious about your general observations because I'm finding AI is showing up in the shows that I watch, the conferences that I attend, like all the things. So I just wondered if it showed up there too. Comic books is a very physical experience. So it could be that the community is like, cool with that AI stuff, but no. Or they might be embracing it. Just curious, is AI, did it show up? Let's see. It was so good. So the conference was good. The LA Comic Con was good. And you attended 2 sessions, one about AI and content creation. Okay, so okay. The community is against it. I figured as much. Because and I can understand why too. There are a lot of reasons why I can understand why. But it sounds like you at least somebody was talking about it as far as content creation was going. So so they're making small steps. But I would imagine when we talk about comic book writing, there's definitely a lot of fear around the role of AI in that. Cool. It was there. Yeah, tons of misuse. You right about that. There's tons of misuse. Tons of misuse as it relates to art. But here's what I will say as an AI art prompt engineer myself. It doesn't have to be. The misuse doesn't have to be there. Good morning, Miss Linda. And the truth of the matter is these companies are getting sued. They're getting sued left and right. But I always look at it from thank you for sharing the live, in the same way that I should never take this book, make copies of it, and give it to 10 of my friends. In the same way, I shouldn't do this. And people may or may not know that I've done it, right? I think the same is true when prompting for AI art. Because I love prompting for AI art, but I think there's a way to do that. I don't think there is a way to do that ethically and tapping into copyrighted resources from comic books. You don't have to do that. That doesn't have to be part of your experience at all to create wonderful, unique art. Yeah, use human art, maybe some AI stories. It can be done ethically. But in the same way, I shouldn't copy this book and share the copies with 10 of my friends. People have to understand that they have to have a sense of baseline ethics when it comes to this AI game. For sure. Well, good. Well, I'm glad. Good morning, Just Visionary. I'm glad you had a great time. I'm glad it's showing up in small ways because we do have to start building like some standards to guide how we use AI. So I'm glad that it's showing up. Good morning, Just Visionary. How are you? Did you have a great weekend or good afternoon? Because it's 2:00 where you are. Good afternoon. How are you? How are you, Miss Linda? Did you have a great weekend? Checking in on you. Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Good morning, Kente. That's Natala. Natala? I bet I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Good morning to you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We're going to jump right in. Good morning, Rude Life Coach. Good morning to you. Good morning, V. Yes, ethically. Right. Yes, you are 100% right. It has to be done ethically. I'm so glad to hear. I'm glad you missed Friday. Because, see, what a lot of people, this is an international call. I love saying it. I love saying it. Every time you hear Charlene, I'm like, international! So, Charlene is actually in the UK. And it's 8 a.m. where I am. It's 2 p.m. where she is. So a lot of the times when we have 6 and 7, 8 o'clock p.m. classes, it is 1 and 2 a.m. in the morning where she lives. Okay? So I'm glad you missed Friday and that you got a nap. Drop your win in the chat, though. I'd love to hear about it. Because, girl, she rarely misses. She comes to a lot of these U.S. evening events, but it's not easy. I can't because every class that's offered in the U.S. more often than not is going to be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning where she lives. All right. Good morning, user plus some numbers. Glad to have you. Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Melanin Seduction. Guys, we had Erica on last night. She's got a class coming up this Thursday where you can learn how to use Google AI to enhance your content creation experience. All right. Ooh, let me screenshot that. So e-learning bestie. She went to a conference and she learned about the work of Ben Zhao, his work at the University of Chicago in reference to AI. I'm going to look that up. Charlene, she moved into a new co-working space. That's her win. And she was nominated for Women in STEM. Come on, congratulations. Congratulations. Good morning, Bree. Glad to have you this morning. How was your weekend? How are you doing? Y'all, give her some hand claps. Oh, Nikki, the replay is already on YouTube. You can catch Erica and all of her wonderfulness. Sister girl knows her things. She knows her things, and she's got a class Thursday. She's got a class. Good morning, Claire. Glad to have you guys this morning. I'm going to jump right in. Today, we're talking about fear. We are talking about fear. All month, this October theme is fear. I thought it was perfect with Halloween coming up. But we're going to talk about fear in a new, fresh, and different way. All right? We're going to talk about fear, the role it plays in our lives, what we can do to combat them. Oh, that's your favorite holiday? I love that e-learning bestie. How to combat fear and why it's like keeping you from getting exactly where you're trying to go. Y'all, I hate when this happens. I got all my notes ready, but I didn't copy paste them where they're supposed to be. Super irritated. I may have to stop because my notes are not where they're supposed to be. Good morning, sweeties. Good morning, Bree. Bree, I know now. Good morning, Just. Bree, I know now. Only like Facebook is being rude. So I will connect with you on school. I have 2 different schools, so sometimes I miss messages on my personal school. But now that I know where to reach you well, I'll connect with you this week about meeting this week. But let me move my notes because nip. I ain't gonna be able to do what I need to do if my notes are not in the right place. And that just is what it is. Ooh. I hope you see she got a surprise for you. Good morning, Linda. Digital marketing. I think that's Linda F. Glad to have you. Y'all in the place this morning. Good morning. Let's get this party started. Y'all are in the place this morning. We're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about fear. A lot of the reasons why we are not where we said we were going to be in January is simply because we're afraid. All right. So this month we're going to cover this whole series is going to be about fear factors. All right. And the first thing I want to say about fear is that fear is not your destiny. It's just data. Fear is not your destiny. It's just data. Fear is actually the best data you can have. When we learn to better understand our fears, we can literally build our own attack system to overcome them. So let me ask y'all right out the gate. You don't have to put it in the chat. You can write it down. You can think about it. If you have that, if you want to, you can put it in the chat. Don't feel like you have to. All right? But I'm going to ask you this right out the gate. What's something you've been putting off lately, and you know that fear is the cause? What's something that you have been putting off because you know fear is the cause? Let me put it to you this way. A lot of time, procrastination is not procrastination. All right? A lot of times, procrastination is actually not procrastination. It's fear. It's fear. I had to learn that about it's something that's unique about me. When I'm afraid of something, I'll put it off. Anyone else like that? Good morning, Crystal. Anyone else like that? That underneath, sometimes when you procrastinate, it has more to do with fear than the actual not taking care of it, of not doing it. Let me know in the chat. Anyone else similar like me? That's not the case for everyone, but for me, sometimes my fear, my procrastination, my putting off, I'm just a little afraid. All right. Let me see what you guys put in the chat. Linda said retirement. She's putting it off because she's got some fears. Thank you for sharing. Don't feel like you have to share the chat, but if you're okay with sharing, cool. But I want you to write it down or think through it. All right? Somewhere. No worries, Nikki. I'm just glad you're here, Mama. I'm just glad you are here. Good morning, Denise Divine Jules. Good morning, Omalasaki. Good morning, Miss Pat. I hope y'all are doing good this morning. Room, I need to give my spiel because I got a few new faces. So let me make sure I give my spiel. Good morning to you guys that are just coming in. I'm Martine Brown, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have morning motivations. Just a short period of time where I try to offer you some mindset support around moving the needle in your own business. Oftentimes, we are not moving forward because this right then, our mind is what is slowing us down. This month, the theme for this month is fear, or the fear factor. The fear factor. For me, fear is when I procrastinate on a thing, I'm probably a little scared of it. It's why I'm procrastinating. Let me read some comments. We're going to talk about that next week, Erica. I think, Erica, you're saying you're like me. When you procrastinate, it's like that rejection sits underneath. And sometimes you said that sometimes you just have to jump off the cliff and do it. I agree with that. Good morning, Mr. Miller. Glad to have you. Nikki brought up a great point. A lot of people are nervous and anxious around being on Sundays with TRM. That's okay. But sometimes you just got to rip that Band-Aid off and just do it. All right? You just got to rip the Band-Aid off and you just got to do it. I don't think the nervousness ever fades. I don't think it ever fades. Being nervous and jumping in They're married to one another. I've been doing these lives almost at a year. I'm still nervous. I've been teaching classes for a year. This month would make the year mark that I've been teaching classes. And I'm still nervous every single class. Every single class, I'm still nervous. All right? So, two things we got to do better about: removing the procrastination and then just jumping in and doing it. Thank you, Miss Pat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Miss Pat said you're a wonderful teacher too. Thank you. It's because a lot of the reasons why I really try to be a good teacher, I try to, is you put your money in my hand, like money that you worked for, money that you worked 2 jobs for, money that could have went somewhere else, and I'll be damned if I don't make sure I do my part. Now you got to do your part. That's always the truth. But I better show up and give you what I said that I was going to give you. So I really try my best, but every single time I'm nervous. There's always one part of the course I procrastinate on, and it's fear. It's fear. All right? Fear is sneaky, man. Fear is sneaky. It doesn't always yell. Sometimes fear is a whisper. It's the very, very most quietest thing that lives in your life. Let me talk to you about what fear looks like. Fear looks like that fifth scroll on your social media, and in your mind, you know you should be posting some content, but you're afraid of what people are going to think, or you're afraid you're going to look silly, or you're afraid that it won't get the engagement. Oh yeah, fear is the smallest, most threatening monster ever. Because it doesn't come in aggressively. It comes in at a whisper. Nearly silent, but it's there. Sometimes it looks like procrastination. You've been putting off that laundry forever. You've been putting off building your landing page. You've been putting off being a panelist on Sundays with TRM. You've been putting off launching your business. And then things happen and you realize all this time that you've lost. And the biggest thing you needed in this moment is a business. Nikki, talk to us about that. Nikki said fear will pull the Mean Girls book out on me. I see. I just had to read it. Nikki said for her, fear is going to pull that Mean Girls book. All the dark and terrible things, it pulls it out. She has to be careful not to turn the pages and engage with it. And lastly, fear also looks like procrastination. I'm sorry, not procrastination, excuse me, perfectionism. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Good morning, Shay. I'm glad to have you this morning. Perfectionism. Let me tell y'all something. I had about 5 really great performing social media posts lately. 5 of them. Every last single one of them has an error in it. Every single one of them has something I did wrong or something I didn't know about the tool or something I messed up on. Every single one of them. You keep saying that you want it to be perfect when the truth is you're afraid to put it out there. I got content I done wrote out between yesterday and today. One of the pieces I'm afraid to put together because I don't think it works. I don't think my audience will understand it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And that's just what it is. A lot of you guys are grounded in perfectionism. Let me check with the room. Put a 1 in the chat if you tend to lean into hesitation. Put a 2 in the chat if procrastination is more of your thing. Put a 3 in the chat if perfectionism is your thing. And don't say all 3 of them. Pick one. 1 in the chat, you tend to just hesitate all the time. You're waiting. 2, procrastination. You wait to the last minute on stuff. You wait till it becomes so urgent you have no choice. Perfectionism. It's got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, it can't go out there. I see the numbers coming in. Yeah, Nick, I knew you was going to say all 3. I love you, friend. All of that, all 3 of those are grounded in fear. All right? But here's the beautiful part with this, okay? And here's the part I really need you to understand. All of that is grounded in fear. I see you, Crystal 1, Crystal 1. Here's the beautiful truth in all of this. And here's the shift I'm going to be challenging all of us, myself included, because I got some big things coming up. I'm super scared. Fear isn't a stop sign. All right? It's a signal. And it shows you what matters. Fear it's never going to be a stop sign. It's a signal. It's a blinking light. And it shows you what matters. All right? It shows you what matters. Your fear is telling you something. Over the course of this week, I'm going to ask you to really think about what message your fear is really saying to you. So if your fear is telling you that you're afraid to post, maybe it's telling you that visibility is the next step you need to take to grow. If you are afraid of charging more, maybe your fear is telling you that it's time for your value to level up. So maybe if we really look at our fears, all right? Because fear is nothing but data. We need to look at the data. We got to find the moment of truth. So if you've got fears around retirement, because I got a couple people who are looking at retirement, take some time to really look at those fears, decide what's true about those fears, all right? Because maybe it's time for you to grab life by the reins in a way that you haven't before. Have you looked at all the options? Have you looked at the retirement package? Have you actually done the math? What does the math actually tell you? Right? So that's going to be your homework. Your homework is going to be to look at look at fear as data. And I want you to find what's true about that data. Good morning or good afternoon, PK Kumba Designs. Good afternoon to you. I think you're one of my UK peeps too. Fear. We got to stop doing this dance with fear. And we got to start getting more honest with ourselves about what those fears are telling us and what we can do right now to move forward, even though we're still afraid. All right? Because fear, it's always going to be there. So fear and action, they're married. It's a lifelong commitment, fear and action. You're going to have to do both together to move the needle forward. Could potentially. Erica said, so it's kind of like the love languages, do and receive the opposite, right? You're going to have to do while experiencing fear so that you can receive the opposite. All right? Here's your homework for the week. Write down a fear that you noticed this week. And I want you to ask yourself, what is this fear trying to tell you? All right? Because fear is not proof that you can't do something. It really is proof that you care. It's just data. That's all it is. It's just a data point. And if you treat it like a data point, if you can really start to understand what you actually care about, you can act on that. And that is what's going to get you in the position of where you want to be in your own business and in your own life. All right? So this week is about tuning in. It's not about shutting down. You're going to hear me talk a lot about, hey, fourth quarter is coming. It's not to create fear or anxiety. It's actually to help you really decide, do you care about the fourth quarter? Do you have the capacity to invest in the fourth quarter? Okay? Is fear holding you back? If you don't make a single sale between today and December, is that something you really care about? Are you afraid? Okay? So we're going to do a little fine tuning on this week. It's the way I want you to start, not just this week, but all this month. All right? But in particular, I really want you to start really thinking about why you are afraid and what those fears can tell you about yourself. Good morning, Kensation. Good morning to you. Sensational. Good morning. Yeah, Charlene said Q4 starts Wednesday, but she's deferring until next Monday. So her internal work would be, is she's deferring because it's the right thing to do for her? Is there fear? What is it? And we all have to do that work. All right? So that's the homework. I need y'all to lock in. We are remaining locked in on our goals. We're going to move the needle in our businesses and our own lives between now and January 1st. One of the devils we have to deal with is fear. Small. Almost like a little pimple. Super small, quite irritating. But if it bursts, it sends infection all over your skin. That's the power of fear. All right? But remember, it isn't proof that you can't do something. It's proof that you care. It's just data. All right? Oh, okay. Tell me, okay, you're gonna share it in the school? You're gonna share it in school soon? Okay. And Wednesday, we're gonna keep this conversation going, okay? So Wednesday, when we come back, we're gonna talk about fear in a different light, but I am gonna ask you, did you write down your fear this week? Were you honest with yourself about what your fear was telling you beyond the surface level? Was your fear grounded in, I might be rejected? Because if your fear is grounded in that you might be rejected, then maybe it's time for you to recognize what's really true. Maybe the truth is your concern with rejection has nothing to do with the outside entity and more to do with your confidence. You gotta unpack that, because once you realize it's a confidence thing, then you can slowly start take the steps to build your confidence, because that's the truth. Let's see. Erica said, I'm going to host more workshops and show what I know. I love to hear it. That's what you've been hesitant on, right? So one of her actions, she's got a class this week. It's Thursday. She's going to be showing Google tools with AI. She's also going to be showing her custom GPT, right? Yesterday, she came to our weekly show, Sundays with TRM, where we talk AI, art, technology, and business strategy. She came on and talked about her class. She did that this week. That is stepping into the fear and allowing fear and action to move forward together. So she's going to do a class this Thursday. And she's that even though she may be doing these things fearfully or hesitant, that beat inside of her has started to change and shift and redirect. And that's the power of moving within your mindset over time. All right? So Thursday, you guys head to Erica's class. And then I will see you guys Saturday. I'm teaching you how to create Canva apps, but I have a very specific workflow. Good morning, Desmond. I have a very specific workflow that I use to create apps. I'm going to give you that workflow. I have a GPT I created that's going to help you take any idea you have and turn it into a Canva app. Now, I'm also going to give you strategies and techniques to monetize. You gotta listen. We can't keep. Let me. We cannot keep making stuff that nobody buys, and we have to think through creative, unique ways to convert a watcher into a buyer. So in my class, I'm going to be giving you tips and strategies that you can use to monetize, to make money with your digital Canva app. The money can be made. I'm not telling you what you think, I'm telling you what I know because I've done it. I've either sold Canva AI apps or I've created Canva AI apps that operate as a lead magnet, all right, where people either signed up for my email, purchased other products. I'm experiencing it. So I'm pulling the rug back and I'm letting you tap into that knowledge and that experience. Okay? Because it can be done. But we got to get fear out of the way, put it on the side, and let action move with it. So I'll be teaching that class this Saturday. If you are in the paid creative community, go to the calendar. There is a special discount you can't find it anywhere else. There is a special discount in the calendar. So if you've been on the fence, I know I got a lot of people who make Canva apps. I really want to speak to you guys because I've seen the Canva apps. You're leaving money on the table. There are ways that your Canva app is set up that it's not allowing for reoccurring income, and that's a problem. So if you're like, I know how to make a Canva app, that's great. But have you effectively monetized for it? So if you haven't monetized for it, join my class. If you've never made a Canva app, join my class. All right. So the baseline of this is, yes, you can make money with Canva AI apps. And in my class, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay. It's a busy week in TRM land. Some of you are saying, what is TRM? TRM stands for Talia, Regina, and Martine. Myself and my partners, we are a creative team that offer products and services around AI, crafting, and art. That's what we do. Tonight, Regina will be teaching Mid-Journey Mondays, where she will be showcasing all things Mid-Journey and taking in your questions. Tuesday, Talia we will be pulling out the crayons and Crayolas, and she will be hosting Color Me Calm. We just get together, chit chat, and color. That's it. If you don't like the color, just turn your Zoom on and hang out with us. We take both. And then this week, I will be teaching my class this Saturday, and I would love to have you there. All right. So, and then on Sundays, I know I left something out. On Sundays, we host a show called Sundays with TRM. where we showcase products, services, classes from our community, and we talk about all things we love around AI, art, crafting, and business strategy. All right. So we would love to have you go to my profile up here at the top. Go up there. That is where you're going to find the paid creative community. Everything I just talked about, it's in the community. The community is free to join. So hop in there, join the community, get the resources that you need so that you can put fear and action together. All right. All right. And Desmond was on last night. TRM replay is going to be out in just a little bit. He did a wonderful job. His tool is amazing. Good morning, Rosie. His tool is absolutely amazing. So if you missed Sundays with TRM, make sure in the paid community, I am going to drop the replay from last night so that y'all can dig in. I will be back this Wednesday. We're going to continue this conversation about fear. We are just getting started. This month, it's all about the fear factor. We're going to put our action and fear together to make movement in our own lives. Bye, you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Bye.